Yo, what's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Golbat League video. Today we're going to be showcasing some battles sent into the channel by Kings. Thank you very much for the battle submission here. We've got a double spider team, which is quite interesting, with Ariados and Galvantula in the back. And we do have a very spammy Politoed on the lead, with the community day move of Ice Beam. So this should be quite an interesting team. We have Lunge and Cross Poison on the Ariados. For those of you guys who watch Callum on Toast and have been watching my channel for a while, I sent in some battles to Callum, it must be a couple of months ago now, featuring a triple spider team. The problem with that team was that I was just getting destroyed by steel types, so I think it's very nice in this team that we have Politoed, super spammy, one of the spammiest Pokemon in the game, which of course can protect the back Pokemon against the steel types. And then you do have, of course, the two bugs, which are very good against things like Deoxys, Umbreons, and all that sort of stuff you might see in the meta. Looks like we're going to be able to take out the Lickitung, just put up a shield. And the really nice thing about these Pokemon are, they can apply debuffs to the next Pokemon that comes in. Politoed, it's not like super glassy, but it's not super bulky either. So applying these lunge debuffs on the other side, very nice. We do go for aggro swap here, and we do have two Water Balls banged here. So we'll see what the opponent decides to do. They'd actually let it go. Very nice call by the opponent. We go for a beautiful overfarm, and we're going to look to fire off Water Ball. Guys, if you want to send in some of your own battles here next week for the Sunshine Cup, link in the description down below. Feel free to join us in Discord as well. And of course, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, I would really appreciate it if you drop a like, subscribe. We're 125 subscribers away from 3K, so if you guys can help me get there, it's very much appreciated. So it looks like we're back in here with Ninetales. This thing is on a Powder Snow Nut Charm. I think the majority of Ninetales you see these days are on Charm. Now, we are actually on Energy Ball on this Galvantula, which is very interesting. So we basically have no coverage for flyers with Galvantula, which is definitely a very interesting one. I'm sure he had some sort of an idea that he wanted to get extra coverage for the team. Oh, we do catch the move. That's a nice catch, and that could be very vital here. Galvantula is basically going to get the farm down. Oh, back in comes Swampert though. They do have a move banged, I think. Does Galvantula beat Swampert and CMP? I think had you predicted that, you might have been able to win CMP. I do have a feeling that Galvantula does win that, so super unlucky. Next match, we have a pretty unlucky lead, Registeel. So you do have the Weather Balls for this thing. You don't have Earthquake anymore, because of course we're running Ice Beam. I think this Politoed, you probably would prefer that. The opponent's going to go for a move. This is most likely going to be Zap Cannon. I did see that we were trying to catch it in Galvantula, so we might try to do that here. Weather Ball coming through. These Weather Balls will add up, and you do sort of have to take care of it here with this Pokemon. Are we going to go for the catch here? Yes, we are. Very nice catch. Very nice catch. This should be a resisted Zap Cannon. Boom. That still does 50%, and in comes Gligar. And we have, this is probably why we're running Energy Ball. We are going to let the move go. This should KO us here, yeah, Aurelius coming through. And we're going to come back in with the spammy Politoed, and just look to fire off multiple moves here. We're almost on 100 energy. We go straight for the Ice Beam, which would look to one-shot them. The opponent may think, I can live a Weather Ball, they cannot live an Ice Beam. That absolutely one-shots them, and back in comes Machamp. This is definitely looking like a tough game here. Guys, to be honest with you, man, I've been trying a lot of different teams in the Great League, and for me, the Great League's just been very frustrating recently. You're just seeing all of these similar teams. Big bulky Lickitung, bulky Machamp, bulky Registeel. All of these super boring degenerate teams, to be honest. Well, these teams aren't really degenerate, but of course you do have like the Bastiodon teams. So I find that Great League is quite difficult to run Spice in. And actually, yesterday I was on a pretty negative streak. Last couple of days I was on a pretty negative streak. I was running Froslass lead, getting Bastiodons constantly. Running a Venusaur lead, getting Talonflames and Charizards. Running a Swampert lead, getting wrecked with that as well. It's definitely been very tough in the Great League this rotation, and I'm certainly looking forward to either a limited meta, or of course Ultra League. Let me know in the comments, guys. Basically, two questions. Are you going to play Sunshine Cup this week, or Ultra League? And what do you think about the Great League? Has it been fun for you this rotation? Or like me, have you found it very sweaty and annoying with the very bulky and sweaty annoying teams? Another really nice catch by Kings here, and that could be very vital for winning this match. We had very tough lineups. The opponent top lefts. Really well played. Good games, and let's hop into the next battle. Jellicent lead. This is a pretty tough lead. We do swap into Galvantula. Oh, that's a very tough Pokemon, and in comes Stinky Binky. This is what I'm saying about the Great League, bro. It's just like, running these fun teams is so difficult, but we are running this. Energy Ball almost takes them out. It almost takes them out. We're going to take Switch here. We're definitely going to take Switch. I think what you even consider doing is just like farm this the whole way down. Can you get the farm down? Yes, you do, just about get it. And if they come in with something other than Jellicent, I think you have to swap out here, because this is really like your only answer to Jellicent. We're going to go for multiple lunges, basically trying to burn the clock. But I think you need to save this for Jellicent, right? The opponent's super debuffed. We do go for the Ice Punch catch, and back in comes this thing. So I think, like, even though all these moves are resisted, we can spam Weather Balls, which will Definitely look to get it low. This Pokemon is so spammy. I think we might even be able to live a Shadow Ball from here. So we should be able to get off. Yeah, we definitely live a Shadow Ball. I think we might even be able to get off like 3 more Weller Balls if they allow us to. 1, 2, 3, 4. The amazing thing about this Pokemon is you just insta-throw and it's good timing. And we're going to go for another one. Yo, they're getting super low. The opponent's going to have to throw a Surf here at this point. Now guys, at this stage you can probably look to farm this down with Galvantula. The Galvantula is getting a bit low, so maybe you have to come in with Ariados. I think we can definitely get to this move. Yeah, the opponent, they are just at the Surf. I think you let it go at this point and look to come in with Ariados to sweep the match. Back in comes Medicham. This is actually a win for Ariados. Ariados wins CMP, and generally speaking, this is a win for them. They go straight for the Psychic. That was pretty insane by the opponent. We're going to go for the Cross Poison here. Back-to-back Cross Poisons. Does have a chance to buff your attack. Do we get the boost? We don't get the boost. Now we're going to go for the lunge. This should be just about enough to take out Medicham. This is going to be good games, guys. I think we live anyone move off Jellicent as well. So if they do get to the move, which they don't, because again, Ariados is so spammy. I really love this Pokemon. It's such a fun Pokemon to use. It gets these in 4 Poison Stings and 5 for the lunge. Really spammy Pokemon, and as long as you don't get it lined up on a Steel type, it is very, very fun. Now we do have 2 good answers to this in the back. We have 2 Bug types. The opponent's probably on Thunder Punch here. You would just assume they're on Thunder Punch, because of course, like, why would they not be, right? Why would they not be? Guys, honestly, if it's a Pokemon that has multiple moves, just assume they have a super effective move if you're facing them. I think it's just the best way to play them. Because more often times than not, to be honest, that's just how this game goes. Like, if you see a Hypno and you've got a Pokemon that's weak to, like, Ice Punch, just assume they've got Ice Punch. In comes Magnezone. Very interesting matchup here. Of course, Electric does not resist Electric, so these are chunking. We're going to debuff the life out of this thing. Now, this thing knows Mirror Shot and Wild Charge, which, you know, with all the debuffs, yeah, it's probably still going to take us out, to be fair. But, yeah, they're in a very, very low position now. I think we can probably come in with Ariados. They're super debuffed. Yeah, I wouldn't mind actually throwing here, because these Wild Charges are going to absolutely chunk. Now they're double debuffed, or like quadruple debuffed at this point. So we're going to go for a Cross Poison before they get to the next one. Does he punish shielded to get off one? No, they don't. Oh, we get the boost as well. Alright, back in comes... Oh, it's Meganium! Meganium's about to get absolutely eaten by the spider. Oh, that done insane damage. Now we're going to go for another move with Ariados. This is insane. The opponent shields it up. Do we go for a catch here? Oh, we don't go for the catch. You know what? I probably wouldn't have made that catch either, because Hypno... Of course they're in Fire Punch as well. Of course they have the 2 moves that are super effective against our Pokemon. Like, why would they not, right? This is what I'm saying, chat. Like, you guys are not the chat, you guys are the comments. Just assume they have super effective moves if you don't know what the moveset's going to be. It's the best way to play this game. But that was pretty insane. That Meganium just got absolutely wrecked. And speaking of getting wrecked, in comes this Nidoqueen. This thing's not going to have a good time. We're going to reach all the way for the Ice Beam. I think we do just go for Weller Balls here. This will do like 50%, I want to say. At least 50%, right? Shadow Nidoqueen can't really take too much of a hit. Looks like the opponent's lagging a little bit here. Or we are just getting some lag in general. These Mud Shots are just chunking, and I think we're going to respect the move. Even though it's probably the Poison Fang, I think we do respect it, which is fair enough. Now we're going to go for another Weller Ball. With this being a ground type, we don't really want to see it in our backline. It's a little bit awkward with Poison Sting and, you know, with Volt Switches, right? The opponent does win CMP. I think you do have to shield this right here. Try to get these moves off. Nidoqueen is just tricky for your backline. You just want to get rid of this thing, basically. We're going to see how much this Weller Ball is going to do. And this should be very close. Oh, it actually KOs from like 60%. Wow. Does a lot of damage. Yep, in comes Medicham versus Ariados. Now, in the Zero Shield scenario, I can't quite remember. This was in the Love Cup. Does a Psychic one-shot you anymore? I don't think it one-shots you anymore. So I think you do win the Zeros against Medicham with Ariados. Let's have a look here. Psychic coming through, it doesn't one-shot, yeah, so you do win the Zeros. And in comes Walrein. Quite interesting. Now, Walrein is not going to have a good time against Galvantula. We should be able to get to the move. Unfortunately, though, the opponent does get a massive farm down. This is tough. I sort of think you have to catch a move at some point. We do come in with Poly to maybe... Yeah, they're for energy. I quite like this idea. If the opponent had went for a huge overfarm, this was a problem, though. That doesn't KO. Now we swap out. We actually bank a Weller Ball as well. The opponent's not going to make it to an Earthquake. This should be an Icicle Spear. This is going to absolutely chunk. Boom. That does a lot of damage. And we do farm it the whole way down. We're coming out with a move for Medicham. We go for the lunge. This is going to get them super low. And like I said, we have a Weller Ball banked. So this should be a good games well played here. Resisted counters. These Volt Switches are chunking. The opponent does for energy. I think they had to commit to the farm down here. But I don't think it was going to make a difference at that point. I think Politoed would win CMP. Oh, the Simul KO. Actually, I think he actually put that on his battle submission that he didn't realize that he left with the Weather Ball. So that's unlucky, you know. Definitely he played very, very well to win that match. Just a little bit unlucky, didn't realize that he had the move. But next game we have a Golbat. Pretty good for our Galvantula. Not very good for Ariados. They go straight for the Shadow Ball, which is pretty rare. And we're going for a Weather Ball bait here. I think since you eat the Shadow Ball, I think you just go double Ice Beam, honestly. Okay, they do shield it, so what do I know? What do I know? We're going to go for the Ice Beam at this point. And because we're throwing this straight away, the opponent might think it's another Weather Ball. It is not. We come into Galvantula, go for the farm down. 1 volt switch, just absolutely wrecks it. And in comes Swampert. And ladies and gents, this Swampert is not going to have a good time. This Swampert is not going to have a good time. Now this Hydro Cannon, it wouldn't KO, I don't think, but it would come very close. We're going to throw a couple more volt switches here. Was that a CMP tie? We're CMPing on the second Hydro Cannon. We'll see what the opponent decides to do. Do they respect it? They do not respect it. And get absolutely one-shot. In comes Altaria. And guys, they're going to get permanently debuffed at this point. Let's see how much health we have on our... yeah, we only have a little bit of health on our Poly. So we may not get to an Ice Beam. We're going to get off another debuff. And this is going to make the farm down a little bit trickier for Altaria. They're going to be permanently debuffed. However, they're still going to have a ton of... we're actually farming this down, bro. We're actually farming this down. I think you can just come in and Poison Sting down. Yeah, I think this is the play here. We do go for a catch. I think maybe a little bit unnecessary. We do get off the Weather Ball though. The opponent's so debuffed that these are looking like lock-ons, not Dragon Breaths. And this is going to get them super low. So the game is never really in any doubt here. We're trying to flex on the opponent by going for a catch. And we just Poison Sting it the whole way down. We could have just Poison Stinged it down, but I think we're just trying to flex on the opponent here. Very good lead here against Sandslash. Yep, in comes Sableye and in comes Ariados. Ariados is a very good time here. We're going to go for this lunge. Ariados has got a really high attack stat, so it does win CMP most of the time. Sableye is a Ghost Dark type. Ghost resists Bug, and Dark is weak against Bug, so it is neutral. In comes the move. It still does a lot of damage here. We should outpace to the next move. So once again, looks like Ariados is winning a lot of zero shield scenarios. We're beating Metachamps. It looks like maybe we don't quite beat Sableye, but I think we're going to probably look to come in and go for a farm down. Yeah, Felblight coming through does take us out. Maybe we get a few extra mud shots through with Poly, or we could get a full volt switch through, which would be quite nice. We get that through, and then comes Pelipper. Now this is where the Community Day Poly is a lot better. We farm up to 100 energy, and we're going to go for the Ice Beam. This should do like over 50% for sure. Boom, the opponent shields it up and respects the move. Now, yeah, we can go for shield here, try to get the final shield off the opponent. They go straight for the Hurricane. We can basically get the final shield off the opponent here. They come in with Sandslash as well. Okay, so this is actually exactly where we want to see it. Because the opponent's going to have to throw a Hurricane to take out the Galvantula. I think we just get off these moves, and then just let this go. And then come back in with Galvantula, farm... Oh, they're just letting the moves go as well. And I think by the looks of things, the opponent's on Powder Snow, which is resisted damage here. Yeah, the opponent just lets that completely go, and in comes Galvantula. Galvantula is about to absolutely feast on this toilet. This toilet is about to get absolutely pooped through. In comes the Hurricane. Would that have KO'd? I think it would have been very, very close to KOing. I'm curious to see how much damage that would have done. What looks like a very positive lead, because we just outspam this thing. And they're a ground type, so we do super effective damage. In comes Altaria. And ladies and gents, I think the opponent must have missed the Community Day because they're letting the Ice Beam go. They actually let it go. That was perfect commentary right there. I didn't know they were going to let it go. But we can look to finish this off with a Weather Ball. And we're still going to have to deal with a Swampert. In comes Swampert. I like staying in here against Swampert because you do have the Energy Ball coverage, but they're so spammy, right? Yeah, oh, that does so much damage as well. Yeah, I mean, they do go for the Earthquake. Okay. So we come in with this, and we can just go for lunges at this point, so we're in a good position. Yeah, I would shield this up here, it's going to do a lot of damage. And if the opponent decides to shield up, in comes Registeel. This is tough. This is tough. Can Ariados and Galvantula deal with this? Here's the problem, right? We can debuff this, which is all good, but I think by the time Galvantula comes in, the timer will be back, so these debuffs won't really be meaningful. Whenever I was using this Pokemon, I was considering using Shadow Sneak, because Shadow Sneak gives you neutral damage against this thing. But lunges are quite nice. It should allow us to live one move here. So we'll see how this goes. I think this is going to be very, very tough here. We do catch the move on Galvantula, saving the Ariados for Swampert potentially. And if the opponent comes back in, a lunge should take them out. Now these Volt Switches are going to be neutral damage. We're going to go for the lunge. The opponent catches on Swampert, like I said, clearing the debuffs. Now I think we need to land probably like an... Oh, they do shield that as well. And we go for CMP, so of course this thing does win CMP. Will the opponent try to get off the move? They do try to get off the move. I think our only option here is to basically try to farm down this with Ariados. Yeah, I think we have to commit to this farm down, guys. We do go for Cross Poison. Swampert does win CMP. Hydro Cannon coming through. Yeah, this is going to be very, very tough. Yeah, we go for a slight undercharge here. We go for this, yeah, so the opponent I think has a move. I think this was going to be a very tough game to win no matter what, but the opponent lives on 1 HP. Considering how tough that was, you just gotta say good games, but that was such a rough loss. Super close in the end. Registeel, it just basically beats your whole team. Politoed, okay, this is where we want to see it, right? This is what Politoed's here for in this team. And in comes Pelipper. I think once again, we actually do come straight into this. Look at these Volt Switches go. They're absolutely chunking this Pelipper. And is this just a Weather Ball? It is the Hurricane. It's a very nice shield here. And the great thing is, with Energy Ball, in comes Stunfisk, right? But we're going to be able to hit them with really heavy damage with these Energy Balls. 2 Energy Balls will look to get this very low, and we should definitely get to it if they allow us to. Will the opponent go for the move? They're just over farming, so we can get off another Energy Ball. And if we can get this into farm down range for Poly, they actually shield up an Energy Ball. I don't think they had to shield that one. I think they could have let that go. Because now they're in a position where we're going to have super effective Weather Balls against them here. We go straight for the move, and we'll see what the opponent wants to do. Are they going to double shield this? They do double shield it. Now at this point, they come in with Noctowl, and they're about to get absolutely blasted out of the sky with Ice Beam. It's most likely going to take an Ice Beam and a Weather Ball to KO. Yeah, probably even 2 Ice Beams to be fair. I think we just stay in here at this point. What you could probably do is look to sacrifice the Ariados to the Stunfisk, right? We go straight for the Ice Beam. I think what I'd like to do is just insta-swap at this point. Just eat the move on Ariados, because I think the opponent definitely has a move at this point. Yeah, we do look to go for a catch. We can definitely let anyone move, and at least we can debuff this thing. Earthquake, that is neutral damage, because of course we're poison type as well. The opponent should be going for Rock Slide, which will be super effective damage, and of course a lot cheaper in energy. But these moves are chunking, like that's the thing about Ariados. Can we get to another one? The opponent is going for huge overfarm and they end up CMPing us. So I think this is good games, well played guys. We should live anyone move at this point. You know, like I said, Politoed, it's not the bulkiest, but it has some very decent bulk. It doesn't, you know, get taken out very easily. So I think this should be another Rock Slide, yeah. As you can see, that doesn't take us out, and we're going for the Ice Beam here. Good games, well played. And honestly, this team looks like a ton of fun. If you get the correct matchups for it, it looks like a ton of fun. Definitely very tricky with things like Registeel and Steel types. Now, this is a perfect lead. We want to see this exactly here. And in comes Torterra, they're coming through with Razor Leaf, and we're going to come in here with our Ariados. This is quite an interesting Pokemon because Lunges will be... Are all of the moves neutralized here by the subtyping? Oh no, so Lunge is still super effective. For some reason I was thinking ground resisted bug. It's poison the ground resists, right? So we're going to farm this probably the whole way down. They do a lot of damage with those Razor Leaves, but that's looking good. And yo, in comes Talonflame, guys. If you get a boost, I hope we get a boost here. Well, oh no, we don't get the boost. It's super effective. I thought we got the boost. But if you get a boost, you can almost one-shot this thing with Cross Poison, which is kind of insane. The opponent's shielding this up, and we actually do a 1 and fro here, which means the damage won't go for him. So if you're gonna die to 1 more Incinerate, you do a 1 and fro instead of a 2 and fro. The opponent's probably going to YOLO a Brave Bird here at this point, and we might as well shield it up. They do go for Flame Charge, but I think it's a little bit unnecessary because we're just so spammy, they're not going to get to another move. You might as well just go for the Brave Bird and hope for the best, right? That comes through, in comes a Zoomerl, and the top left immediately. Guys, thank you very much to Kings for sending in the battles. If you do want to send in your own, link in the description or join us in Discord. Thank you very much for all the support in the videos, guys. Do subscribe, drop a like in the video, helps out an absolute ton, and let me know what league you're going to be playing this week. And of course, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Great League this week. Definitely for me, it's been very frustrating for the last couple of days. Like for example, the day before yesterday, I tried Sandslash, Azu, and Cresselia. Guys, the amount of Umbreons, Defense Deoxyses, all these nonsense leads I kept getting was just so frustrating. Then I swapped to a Sableye lead and kept getting Charm. Like, it's just been super frustrating for me to play a Great League. Because I did hit 2400 and 25 in Psychic Cup. But since Great League's come out, I've not been able to get over 2300. It's just been complete RPS. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Once again, thank you for sending in the battles, and hope you guys did enjoy. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all next time.